Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we are diving into one of the most puzzling and quietly controversial stories in South African diplomacy, the mysterious death of the country's ambassador to France. Officially, it was described as a sudden medical emergency. But behind the polished statements and diplomatic condolences, there's a trail of unanswered questions, missing files, and strange coincidences that make this story sound more like a political thriller than a tragedy. The ambassador was a respected figure, calm, disciplined, and known for keeping the peace between competing political factions back home. Having served under both Jacob Zuma and Cyril Ramaphosa, he was trusted by all sides, which made his sudden death in Paris all the more suspicious. According to official sources, he was found unresponsive in his residence early one morning. But that's where the clarity ends. There were no ambulance records, no mention of a hospital, and no confirmation from French authorities about where or how the incident occurred. The embassy released a two-line statement, then went silent. Within 48 hours, the body was sealed in a diplomatic coffin and flown back to South Africa. No autopsy, no viewing, no questions allowed. Now, if this had been any ordinary medical emergency, you'd expect transparency, medical documentation, a death certificate, or at least a public condolence ceremony. Instead, what followed was an astonishing level of secrecy. Embassy staff were ordered not to speak to journalists. The family wasn't allowed to see the body until after the repatriation, and when they asked for a post-mortem, they were reportedly told it had already been handled through official channels. So what exactly was happening behind closed doors? According to leaks from inside the Department of International Relations, the ambassador had recently been placed under quiet internal investigation. There were alleged irregularities involving embassy cultural funds, money meant for arts and community projects that had seemingly vanished into European consultancy accounts. He was reportedly planning to fly home to set the record straight. Some claim he was preparing to expose a circle of politically connected businesspeople using diplomatic budgets to finance campaign operations back in South Africa. The night before his death, the ambassador attended a high-profile dinner in central Paris. Guests recall he appeared tense and distracted, taking multiple phone calls. A source says he left suddenly, without saying goodbye, unusual behavior for a man known for his composure. That was the last time anyone saw him alive. But the coincidences didn't stop there. The following morning, his personal aide resigned via email and boarded a one-way flight to Dubai. French intelligence confirmed her departure but declined to comment on her involvement. Within 2 days, the ambassador's office had been sealed, and embassy staff were reassigned or placed on temporary leave. Then came the next strange twist. French officials requested a confidential meeting with South African representatives. While no one knows what was discussed, the meeting reportedly concerned missing diplomatic materials. Insiders later revealed that the ambassador's encrypted laptop, safe keys, and several classified documents had disappeared from his office. Among them, allegedly, were notes relating to energy negotiations between South Africa, France, and Russia, a subject that had become politically sensitive as Pretoria moved closer to BRICS-aligned nuclear partnerships. Was the ambassador caught in a tug-of-war between global powers? Some analysts think so. France had grown uneasy about losing influence in Africa's energy markets. South Africa's renewed interest in Russian nuclear technology might have made the ambassador's position precarious. Perhaps he knew too much. Perhaps he had become inconvenient, to someone abroad, or to someone at home. Still, the government's reaction raised eyebrows. No official inquiry was launched. No parliamentary questions were entertained. The president offered only a brief statement of sympathy. For a man who had represented South Africa for decades, it was an unusually quiet farewell. One veteran diplomat described the silence as a political fog, deliberate and heavy. He suggested that the ambassador's death might have been used to protect larger interests, both financial and geopolitical. After all, when a diplomat dies abroad, the entire process falls under diplomatic immunity, meaning no local police can interfere, and no evidence becomes public unless the home government allows it. Weeks later, journalists tried to follow the paper trail. Requests for embassy records were denied on grounds of national security. The family received only an official certificate stating the cause of death as cardiac failure. Yet friends insist he had been in good health, recently cleared in a full medical check. As time passed, the story began to fade, at least publicly. But within Pretoria's corridors of power, it remains a subject people discuss in low voices. Was the ambassador preparing to blow the whistle on corruption inside South Africa's diplomatic network? Or was he the victim of a larger international scheme that went horribly wrong? There's also the question of his missing aide. Rumours claim she carried sensitive information and may now be under protection abroad. Others say she feared for her life after seeing something she shouldn't have. Her silence, too, has become part of this growing mystery. And then, the most haunting question, why was his cremation arranged so quickly, without family consent? When asked, officials blamed logistical constraints. But many diplomats privately called it unprecedented, even suspicious. Cremation ensures no second autopsy can ever take place. It erases evidence forever. Whether his death was natural or not, what's undeniable is the pattern of secrecy. In South African political life, scandals often fade under layers of bureaucracy. Files disappear. Statements are edited for security. And yet, each time this happens, the public's trust in the government erodes further. This story, at its heart, is not just about one man's death. It's about how information is controlled, how truth is managed, and how political systems protect themselves even when it means leaving a family without answers. In the end, the ambassador's legacy has been reduced to a quiet line in the diplomatic record, died in service. But those who knew him remember his unease in his final days. As one colleague told a local reporter, he said he felt like someone was watching him. He joked that he was becoming paranoid. But maybe he wasn't. So what really happened in Paris? Was this a tragic coincidence, or a carefully orchestrated cover-up? Whatever the truth, this case reminds us that in the world of politics and power, silence is often louder than any confession. Thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, you probably have your own theory, and we'd love to hear it. Do you believe the ambassador's death was just fate, or do you think something more sinister took place? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more political investigations, and share it with others who follow South African and international affairs. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and as always, see you next time.